You're a financial advisor. You've had the same conversation 5 times this week. Am I saving enough? What's the difference between 401k and Roth? Will this hold up in in a downturn? You're not failing. You're flying blind. Without seeing patterns across calls, you can't fix the root cause. Clients walking in unprepared. Today, I'll show you an automation that changes that. This is how it works. This is a simple form I've made for this automation. This is the form's title, Knowledge Gaps Analyzer, and here is the transcript field. This is a required field, which is just a transcript from one of your past calls, and here you would put in your transcript, and here you can see your entire transcript like this. You can expand it as much as you want, and after you're done putting that in from any of your platforms, you would click submit. After you've clicked submit, you would see that it says appending row to the sheet, and the sheet that it adds it to is going to be your running database essentially of all the conversations that you have had in the past. And after it's done that, it's going to analyze the patterns found in all of your different calls that you've had, and then it's going to generate a report from that. And in a few seconds you're going to see it sends a message, and here you're going to see the message come up. So this is the basic summary of things that you're going to be seeing. Okay, so now I will explain what the weekly advisor intelligence report actually holds. So let's start with the executive summary. So if you don't have any time to read the report, this summary tells you in 30 seconds your clients are stuck on retirement math, risk anxiety, and scattered accounts, and here's exactly how to fix it. Then the repetition heat map. Retired readiness came up 6 times this week. That's not a coincidence, it's a system failure. Clients aren't walking in prepared and you're paying the time tax. Client saying, I don't know if I'm saving enough, isn't a question, it's a friction signal. It triggers 8 minutes of reassurance instead of strategy. Spot it early and solve it proactively. And time sync diagnosis, you're spending 15 minutes per client just explaining types. That's 5 hours a week. 1 full workday, lost to preventable confusion. This section proves where your time actually goes. Missed leverage opportunities. What if a client already understands the risk score? This section shows exactly where to insert lightweight automation so your next call starts at minute 10, not at minute 0. And lastly, the actionable recommendations. So now that you've seen all the problems in the previous sections, we hand you the fix. Send this 3-question survey before calls. Is an advice. It's your new workflow. Implement 1 item and save 2 hours next week. And now let's explain how this automation is actually made. So the first step in this automation, which is the form submission, that can be simply done by opening the on form submission node. So that can be just, if you look up triggers here, or like form submission, yeah, and right here you can see on the new form submission, so you can just get that in form, and you can essentially just look up on new form, on form submission. It already exists here, so you don't need to worry about it, but usually you can just look this up and then you can get this form, and here you can decide exactly what fields it will have and start off with the name of it, name it whatever you want. The first field, so I kept it simple for my own sake, which is just a transcript you're going to put here, text area obviously, and it's a required field because without a new transcript this automation doesn't do much. Then after that you can get this Google Sheet node, which is Google Sheet tools, and here you can do the append sheet, append row and sheet, this one. Then you would get that here, put in your credentials as usual right here, and after that you would choose the the document that you're editing, which is this document that I showed earlier, and in there you choose the default sheet, which is the first one. Here I just say this is just some JavaScript to get the current date, and the transcript that you put in the previous step. So that's what's going to be right here, and that you can just go schema right here and drag and drop this here to make it very simple. After that's done, you need the read sheet node, which again, go to Google Sheet again, and here you can do get rows in sheet, which is this node right here. Just drag and drop, attach it with the arrow, and after you do that, add your account as usual. Operation get rows, same thing, and you get the document from the list, and you say the sheet, and then it would output a bunch of different items. And here you're just trying to aggregate everything that you get from the previous input, and here it just says input field name, which is transcript, and this is all the transcripts that you see here, right? So make sure it is named with the column header right here, and if that column header matches, it's gonna get all of the transcripts and mash them into one object that the AI can use. So now the real brains of the operation, right? So again, it's the usual AI agent that I use always, so let's get that AI agent. You would just get this, drag and drop this here, and yeah, you can name it whatever you want. I named it pattern analyst, and here you would give it the previous one's transcript that you have aggregated, and most importantly, the system message. And let's talk about the system message a little bit. So here you can see how the system message is. You're an expert financial advisor on workflows and client transactions, and you would tell it exactly what kind of details that you want, repeated questions or themes, client hesitation or friction signals, advisor timestamps by repeated explanation, and opportunities where proactive education or automation could reduce the workflow. So all the things you would need to create your own content of some kind to educate your customers before they come into the call, and possibly reduce a lot of time in explaining things that don't need to be, that you don't need to spend so much time on. And here it's just the basic structure of everything, and make sure you turn on the require specific output format, because you want to make sure it is in this JSON format. And I just use the OpenAI chat model right here, GPT 4.1 mini. You don't need anything fancy for this, and the example, what do you call it, JSON object for this. And after that's done, you go here, the report generator. So this is where the actual report is being generated for the email, and you can see here it's kind of like this. You're a senior business strategist creating executive level reports for financial advisors, and then you're essentially taking all this information that came in from the previous step and using all of that to create this nicely formatted report that you see in my email right here, right? And don't worry too much about this. If you want this kind of information, just contact me on my email or from the comment section, and I'll let you know exactly what this format is. But yeah, just this isn't going to any of the customers. This is for the advisor only, so no compliance issues with this. Anyways, let me just revert a few changes that I made. It should be fixed, and this should also be fixed. Okay, so now nothing's changed, and now you would go here, and after the previous step has generated an output, which is this HTML, you just want to put in your email that you're sending it to. For my example, it's just this one, and you just name it whatever you want, meeting intelligence report. You put the message here, and then Gmail, or and then can send the report out to the customer. So as a result, after you've implemented this automation, you stop repeating yourself and clients arrive informed. You reclaim hours each week to focus on high value work, not reteaching the basics. This isn't even about replacing advisors. It's about arming them with the intelligence no single call can reveal. I built this at Auric Automations to solve a real pain point: advisors drowning in repetitive work while missing strategic patterns. Want this pattern for your practice? You can go visit auricautomations.com and click on book consultation, and as a result of that you will get onto my Calendly link, and where you can book a short 30-minute call with me, and as a result you can learn about this automation or building any kind of automation that your business needs. So stop guessing what the client needs and start knowing. And if you'd like to see more of this content, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you.